Good morning, Millstone. Good morning, 6th and 7th grade. Happy Friday, June 19th, the last day of school, finishing up our virtual learning for the year. I wanted to give you guys one last little virtual fireside chat for the road, just to say my goodbyes and give you guys some parting words, if you will. I'm trying not to be too loud. I don't want to wake up the baby because he's here being bopped. Chance is in the background. He'll probably start growling or barking or something like that. But I just want to say that 2019-2020 school year was definitely a challenging one. I think we can all agree on that. From my perspective, it was the first year that I was teaching 6th and 7th grade, two different subjects. And I hadn't taught U.S. history too in like 7 years. So it was definitely a crash course, even for myself, to refresh myself on some of the things from U.S. history too. But I had so much fun doing it. It was a challenge. It was a tough year, especially with that going on. And then personally, my wife being pregnant all year and the baby coming at the end of the year, it was a lot. It was a lot. But the only reason I tell you all of this, guys, is not for you to feel sorry for me. Please don't, because I don't feel sorry for me. Is I want to thank you guys. My students, my 6th and 7th grade students who I had this year made my job easy. You guys came every single day while we were together, ready to learn and have fun and do what needed to be done. And that was awesome. You guys were almost always interested in the lessons that were going on, and almost always gave your absolute best effort. And especially tip of the cap to the 7th grade, because I think any teacher would admit this, your first year teaching a subject, you're obviously not going to be as good as you are going to be, your 5th year teaching it. So are there things that I did teaching 7th grade US 2 that I'll look at next year and go, I didn't like that. Let's change that up. Yes, you guys are like the guinea pigs, unfortunately. But you guys were awesome. You came ready to work every single day. And I feel like we learned a lot of awesome stuff in 6th and 7th grade this year. And that continued in virtual learning. Guys, that wasn't easy either for a lot of your teachers, not just me. That's something that none of us were ready for. None of us had planned or prepared for before, the pandemic hit. And we managed to do something. But I thank you guys for at home trying to do your best, keeping up with your work, and hopefully you still got at least something out of virtual learning. There were still some things that you learned. It's not going to be 100% what it was if we were in class. That's understandable. I think everybody gets that. But nonetheless, I still think that we got a chance to cover some really cool stuff, even with virtual learning. And I just want to, again, thank my students. Thank you guys. You made this year, which was a generally stressful year all around for me, actually relatively not that stressful. It was a good year. I just want to finish with this, guys. We've been in quarantine for literally almost like 4 months, just about 4 months, like this week, actually, right? April, May, June, 3 months, maybe 3 months. But as the summer goes on, and you're not really necessarily, might not be around all of your friends for the summer, might be another couple of months before things feel totally normal again. I just want to leave you with this. While we are in quarantine and we are away from each other, these are tough times that will not last, right? It's not going to be like this forever. It won't be. Now, I'm not saying I know exactly when everything's going to get back to totally normal and what that normal will look like, but it's not going to last like this forever. And I don't pretend to be some kind of doctor or scientist or even some great philosopher. But I do think that I'd like to have the appreciation that these tough times make you appreciate the good times even better. If you thought going to school was a drag before all this, well, I think your perspective might have changed. When you go back to school, you might be like, wow, I miss this. I miss my friends. I miss my teachers. It's going to help you appreciate things that much more. I know the same goes for me. There's days in school where you have to go to a meeting and this and a phone call, and you're like, and I can't wait to go back to that stuff now. And I think that's how we should all kind of look at what's going on right now. The tough times right now will help us appreciate the good times when they come, and they are going to come even much more. I would also like to say to you guys, make sure that in this time you are doing work on yourself so that when you come out of quarantine, you're a better person, and whatever that might look like for you. Right? Because if we stay stagnant for months and months and months and don't do any work on ourselves, and those good times come rolling again, what are we really bringing back out to the world? right? What version of ourselves are we really bringing back out to the world? If we sit around and we don't read for 3 or 4 months, and we don't exercise, and we don't, I don't know, stay engaged with our family, what are we really bringing back? So I would challenge you guys to better yourself, whether that's reading books as much as you can. I've been trying to do that. It could even be like watching, documentaries, just keeping your mind sharp, reading newspapers, getting exercise, going outside, even if it's, setting goals for yourself. I want to be able to run a half mile without stopping or a mile without stopping. Do it. Become a better person. Be a better version of yourself when you go back out into the world, when things totally open up again, than you were before you went away. All right. I think I'm trying to do that. I think that'd be awesome if everybody tried to do that. I think that's something that can keep you sharp and keep you in a good state of mind during all of this. I'll leave you with this. Abraham Lincoln in 1858. I have to go here. He ran for a Senate seat in Illinois, and he lost to Stephen Douglas. My sixth graders know this. Seventh graders, you should remember this from last year. But Abraham Lincoln lost in 1858. And when asked afterwards how he felt, he said, "I will prepare, and someday my chance will come." Right? And I think that's a wonderful quote. He just lost the Senate seat, and he's like, okay, that's fine. I'll prepare myself, and someday my chance will come. Well, 2 years later, he gets elected president of the United States of America and leads us through the Civil War. Point that I'm trying to make to you guys is, right now we should be doing the preparing. And someday our chance will come to go back out in the world, everything nice and normal again, have all the good times again. But are you going to prepare for that? Are you preparing for that right now, to be that best version of yourself when that does happen? And you should be. Guys, I miss you. I appreciate everything that you did this year. I loved every second of teaching my classes this year. You guys were awesome. Seventh graders, please come back and visit my class when you're in eighth grade. I'd love to see you guys. Just pop in and say hello. Sixth graders, I also teach seventh grade, so maybe I'll have you guys again next year. We'll see. You got to look out for those rosters. If you need anything, you guys have my email. Email me, and I'm here for you guys, okay? I miss you tremendously. I hope that you all have a wonderful summer. And again, work on yourselves so that when those good times come rolling again, we're ready to hit the ground running. All right, guys. Norris out. Have a good summer.